the roll is not closed and it is past midnight.
The roll has not been closed. It is past midnight.
A fiery finish to the 2024 legislative session. What it means for the Northwest suburbs. It was seconds too late. A bonding bill that could have potentially helped local cities fund projects missed a midnight deadline. For city officials in Plymouth and Maple Grove, the key word was disappointment.
I'm very disappointed that something didn't get done. I think that there was a lot of good things for Plymouth and other parts of the state as a whole that were primed and ready to go, but when you wait till the last minute, which there's a history of that, not everything gets done.
Plymouth asked for funding and special legislation to help build its city center project. That project includes a new ice sheet, a parking ramp, and infrastructure that could help spur development. Plymouth expects to ask for funding for the long-term project again next year. Meanwhile, Maple Grove requested about $16 million to help revamp the city's community center. Mayor Mark Stephenson says the city is now going to look for ways to trim costs.
What they have to do to get passed is they have to work together, and apparently there wasn't the working together that was necessary to get it passed. So that's disappointing, but that is typical.
Voters approved a half-cent sales tax for the Maple Grove Community Center revamp in 2022. Stephenson says construction should start in spring of 2025 or 2026. For Brooklyn Park, no bonding dollars won't necessarily mean no projects. Earlier this year, the city asked for funding to pay for the Community Activity Center expansion, a new central fire station, and an expanded Zanewood Recreation Center. A city spokesperson says despite no funding this session, state bonding dollars weren't going to be the only source of funding. The city also has $5 million approved by lawmakers last year to use for the Community Activity Center. The council will discuss all of that and the next steps in a June 3rd work session. Road closures began Monday for a major improvement project in Plymouth. Plymouth Boulevard will be temporarily closed between 34th and 35th Avenues. The closure is expected to last 1 to 2 weeks. It's part of an overall plan to revitalize Plymouth City Center. Construction will be done in phases to allow access to area businesses and city facilities using detours. Work will be done between Highway 55 and Rockford Road. The project includes constructing roundabouts at 4 intersections. A popular store in Robbinsdale has expanded its footprint, much to the joy of garden lovers everywhere. In this edition of Business Matters, Delane Cleveland takes us to Wellna Ace Hardware in its ever-expanding Birdtown backyard.
Lots of people are excited to have us here.
For years.
I have some purple coneflower, which is a Minnesota native that I've been hoping to find.
Garden enthusiasts in Robbinsdale haven't had an extensive array of options.
Kind of had a dry spell as far as nurseries went.
However,
we really have a little bit of everything here, so.
That all changed this spring.
So we are in the new garden center here at the Birdtown backyard.
Brian Dawson is the manager of Wellna Ace Hardware. 2 years ago, they purchased the space formerly occupied by Robbinsdale Marine and turned it into the Birdtown backyard.
It took some time and effort to really make this place our own. If you can imagine 50 years or so worth of motor oil and gasoline everywhere, it took a lot of cleaning up to do.
Phase 1 of the Birdtown backyard involved stocking the building with grilling supplies, patio furniture, and pet food. And earlier this year, they launched Phase 2 in the form of this expanded garden center.
So we're happy to expand on what we've done in the past and really just make this a community asset.
The garden center has a wide variety of plants, flowers, tools, and plenty of other things people with a green thumb could use. So far, the reception has been positive.
I'm actually really impressed. I didn't know that they would have very much here, so I'm excited about that and found some stuff I'm probably going to get today.
The hope is that customers like her won't have to travel to big box stores outside of Robbinsdale to fulfill their gardening needs. And if these first few weeks of spring are any indication,
we've had record days just about every day.
The garden center in the Birdtown backyard will be a busy place for years to come.
It's great to be here and have something that people really want that we're not seeing in other places.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
During the winter, the plan is to use the garden center space as a Christmas tree lot. A new scholarship program could give about 20,000 Minnesotans free college tuition this year.
This is a really great and unique opportunity for individuals that thought that, education wasn't in the cards for them because of the financial barriers. Now they have that opportunity to leverage this scholarship program to be able to make that dream a reality.
The North Star Promise program pays the cost of tuition for students at Minnesota's public colleges, including North Hennepin Community College and Hennepin Tech. To be eligible, families need to have an income below $80,000. North Hennepin Community College says about 2,500 people have already applied for the scholarship.
It's a pretty smooth and easy process. The great thing about the North Star Promises is no separate application. It's all students have to do is fill out their FAFSA.
North Star Promise scholarships will be available starting fall 2024. The state legislature created the scholarship last year. A significant achievement is barely setting in for a Perpich Arts High School student.
It's amazing. I was in shock when I found out. I don't know if it's fully set in, but yeah, it's really amazing.
That's Milo Clifton, who painted a piece titled Summer in the Apostle Islands. His work received first place in the 5th Congressional District Art Competition. For the honor, Clifton's work will be displayed in the U.S. Capitol for 1 year. He also gets 2 tickets to fly to Washington, D.C. to attend the National Arts Competition ceremony. Congratulations, Milo.
The high school baseball regular season wraps up this week. Maple Grove and Osseo are both hoping to improve their resumes before the postseason starts next week. Ches Moots has highlights.
Maple Grove 6-1 when playing at home this year. Osseo winners of 3 in a row. Bottom one, Kellen Riskadal gets the Crimson going early. Big swing to left off the glove of Isaac Johnson. 2-runner score for MG. Riskadal reaches to second. Very next batter, it's Brady Aubut. The lefty delivers with an RBI single to center. Riskadal crosses home. The Crimson go up 3-0 after 1. Osseo gets on the board for the first time in the top of the second. Tyler Weum with runners on third and second, thrown out at 1, but Brennan Kranz scores to make it 3-1. Top 3, a pass ball allows Johnson to race home from third. The Orioles pull within 1 run. Then later in the inning, Kranz with a base hit to center field. Osseo ties the game up at 3. But the game was suspended in the bottom of the 3rd inning due to thunderstorms. The Crimson and Orioles will resume play back on Crimson Field on Wednesday afternoon. In Maple Grove, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Cooper and Brooklyn Center baseball teams are rebuilding this season. They met up Friday in a game shortened by weather. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Cooper hosting Brooklyn Center in a late season baseball matchup. BC gets on the board as Anders Rydberg hits a sinking liner that's dropped by the left fielder. Grant Tenoff races around and just beats the throw to the plate for a 1-0 Centaurs lead in the top of the 1st. But Cooper has a big bottom of the inning. There's a called 3rd strike that deflects off the catcher's glove for a pass ball, and Matthew Girding comes in to score, and it's 2-1 Hawks. Still in the 1st, and this one's just a bit outside, allowing Simon Gullickson to score for a 4-1 lead. Cooper gets 5 in the frame to lead it 5-1. In the 2nd, Girding scores again on a pass ball for a 6-1 lead. All 7 runs Cooper gets are on wild pitches or pass balls. Hawks pitcher Owen Vetter allows just the 1 early run, striking out 8. Bad weather arrives in the 5th, and this one ends early due to rain and lightning. Cooper wins at 7-1 in 5 innings. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The state adapted softball tournament is in the books. A local team played in a rematch of last year's championship game in the PI division. Jay Wilcox has more.
The Robbinsdale Hopkins Mound West Tonka Robins meeting defending champ Dakota United in a rematch in the PI adapted softball final. The Robins get 2 in the 1st. Junior Doctor smacks a hit to center field. Jose Leon Estrada scores. It's 2-0 Robins after a half inning. The Hawks get on the board as Sam Holland's chopper deflects off pitcher Jada Johnson. A run scores and Dakota gets within 2-1 after 2 innings. The Robins add a run in the top of the 5th as Estrada's chopper is fielded. He's out at first, but Jada Johnson scores on the play, and it's 3-1 Robins. Down 3-2 in the 5th, Reese Martin with a big base hit up the middle for Dakota. Jay Bama scores, and Caden Needham also comes home as the Hawks take their first lead 4-3 on Martin's double. Down 5-3 in the 7th, the Robins threaten. Grady Lease with a good hit here, and Johnson comes around to score as the Robins pull within 5-4 and look to at least tie it. But Dakota gets out of trouble, and the Robins have to settle for second place after a hard-fought 5-4 loss to Dakota United. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Osseo CI Division team in adapted softball won its state quarterfinal round game, but then lost to Burnsville in the semifinals. That put the Orioles into the third place game, and Osseo lost to New Prague 13-10. Osseo finishes the season with a 9-2 record. Dakota United won the CI state title. That's all for sports. More CCX News after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.